Hey guys, this is Cam from 15 and I'm back with another video. And your Chicago Bears have picked up a win against the New York Giants. So, yeah, a good win, a good win. Well, a win they can use to salvage whatever they have left of their season, but at the same time, you know, as good as the win is, I still excuse me, did not like the way they won today. We won by the score of 19-14, and I feel like we should have won by a lot more than this. Um, so yeah, what to talk about? What to talk about? Let me point out the good. I guess. The defense. It in some cases it showed up today. You know, we finally found Khalil Mack, so I guess I can take his APB off of him. Um, so his warrant for arrest doesn't need to be made. I can take it off because he had a forced fumble today, and it was arguably one of the main reasons that led us to scoring a touchdown today. So yeah, that was good to see him. Leonard Floyd near the end of the game did make a play that I like, so maybe we have to take that off him too. So because we saw Leonard Floyd sighting. Um, but other than that, it was a good game. It was a good game for the defense. They created a turnover. They almost had two picks this game. One dropped by Sherrick McManus, and then another one dropped by Kyle Fuller, but Kyle Fuller had his hands on it. It's just a receiver basically played defense and prevented that from happening. But other than that, it was a goodly played, defensive scheme. Um, I should probably check Saquon Barkley's stats because I think we actually did a better job of dealing with Saquon Barkley this year as opposed to last year, because last year we let him go crazy, but this year we kind of shut him down, which was one of my keys to winning the game was stopping Saquon Barkley, and I was glad that we did not allow a touchdown to Saquon Barkley like we did with Todd Gurley last week, and we basically got the job done and won. Um, Another thing I also have to make a point. You see me, I'm not wearing my Bears jersey. I told you guys I would not be wearing my Bears jersey because I'm done with the team. Funny thing is, I was actually wearing my Clippers gear because the Clippers got a game tonight. But you know, it's going it's going good for the Clippers. But anyways, Saquon Barkley had 17 carries for 59 rush yards. If I could pull up the stats from last year's game, I guarantee you he had half what he had last game. So, we did well against him and we shut him down. And another thing is, we made Daniel Jones have an okay game. Um, I definitely don't think the defense, and this is one of the things that I did not like on defense. I hated on defense is the fact that we could not stop him on fourth down until that last fourth down. I did not like the one fourth down the Giants converted on for the touchdown for Golden Tate. One because the DBs were in an area where you know, I don't know what Eddie Jackson was doing, but he kind of just stood there and looked as the ball was going over his head and never went to go cover Golden Tate. Now Butcher Screen was covered on him. I thought from the replay, I thought he could have did a little bit more or had a little bit more of an effort to knock the ball out of Golden Tate's hands. If you ask me personally, the Bears should have won this game 19-7. I don't know why the defense just let up and got 14 points. Just gave up the 14 points, but regardless, 14 points. If you're only going to give up 14 points in a game, you'll win more times than not, depending on how well your offense does. So the defense, I'm gonna give them a B, just standard B. They played really well in some moments, and there was some moments where they just played obviously stupid, like the last touchdown they gave up to the Giants, where they couldn't stop the Giants. But at the same time, almost forcing turnovers while getting that turnovers, it was good to see. From from a pressure standpoint, they sometimes they got to Daniel Jones, sometimes they didn't, but at the same time, it's still good enough. If you're like holding Daniel Jones at 150 yards passing, you're gonna win more games than not. And plus, he's a rookie quarterback. And the last time we played Daniel Jones, I believe there was week 3 of the preseason when he was playing up against our like backups, our second strings and third stringers. And I'm like, when we played, and honestly, I was kind of hoping that Daniel Jones played, the week we played the Giants, which was this week today, and he did play. And guess what? There was a point in the game, I'm like, yeah, you're not getting the easy passes or the easy attempts to throw because now we got our starting one defense in there. We got the dogs in there, which was good to see. So the defense gets a B. They did pretty well, pretty well. Special teams, I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give them a C plus. You know, the special teams. Actually, when you think about it, they should just get just a straight up C. Um, I'm gonna give them a C for this reason. Pat O'Donnell, um, for some punts, I don't know what the hell was wrong with him, but he did not punt the ball well today. Now, later in the second half, when we punted sometimes, um, he punted the ball good and he pinned the Giants deep, especially on that final drive. Um, but then there was other cases where you're like saying, "What the heck are you doing?" When he shanks a punt for 13 yards, and I was like, when I saw that, I was like, "What is going on?" And the fans were booing because they were like, "What the hell is going on?" Because they're like, "Really, um, what is going on here?" and stuff like that. And I was like, "You're kidding me! You're kidding me! You shank a punt for 13 yards." I was literally getting upset about that. And then, to start the day off, we kick it off the moment the game starts. And Eddie Pinero, he kicks it out of bounds. Now, I'll just say this. The Giants kicker did them no favors at all. The Giants kicker not only missed 2 field goals, but he kicked a ball out of bounds when the second half started. So, Jesus, for all the slander Pinero got, um, which was many, if not only that was his really own critique. And I know he missed an extra point, but I don't blame him on the extra point. I'll get to that issue. That was more the offense and the coaching. But well, I guess to the fact of the special teams. Well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Eddie Pinero, I guess you could say somewhat bounced back, albeit even though he missed the extra point. Um, but like I said, they played like a C minus level, a C level. Because special teams still has its issues and everything. They almost let Jabril Peppers, which I'll say, they had bad punt coverage on that one thing where Jabril Peppers almost returned that for a touchdown. That might have changed the game as we know it if he had scored a touchdown off that. But thank you, Cordell Patterson, for putting that to a halt, which set up one of the missed field goals by Aldrick Roses on the Giants. Man, if that guy is not cut, I don't know who is. Personally, if you ask me, if I was a coach, I'd cut these kickers if they're not making their kicks. I'd give them 2 weeks notice, basically. Be like, make your kicks, otherwise you're cut. So Eddie Pinero, he probably was, wiping the sweat off his face because he had his buddy Roses over here for the Giants doing what he was doing, missing kicks. He missed a kick far right and then missed a kick far left. I was like, man, he just turned into Eddie Pinero today. So, yeah. So, I guess it was good. I was actually happy to see another team we played, miss kicks. Because I swear, every time, the Bears always get slandered when they miss a kick. Every time. The commentators slam him for it. The media slams him for it. I swear, it was actually good to see another team we played miss more than one kick. It actually felt. And the fact that those kicks were mixed for the Giants were very valuable points that the Giants missed on the board. Because, like I said, if Roses kicks those, field goals and make it, the game is totally different. The Giants may actually have come out of this game and won the game if they had made those 2 kicks. You know, that was kind of the Giants' missed opportunities of the game was those 2 field goals. Because if you had the 2 field goals when it was still 7-0, they're up 13. They would be up 13-0, and then another touchdown, you know, would put them up about 20 to whatever the final score would. And if that was the case, we would have lost by one point. Well, depending on the circumstances, the game turned out exactly as is. But yeah, it was an okay day. An okay day for the special teams. Now, I guess another critique I can say of the special teams was on the extra point when the 2 point conversion came back. One of our guys on the extra point field goal attempt, rushed onto the field because there was I guess we didn't have too many guys on the field. And at this point, the refs gave a flag. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Pay attention to the situation at hand. If you know you're on the field goal team, get out there on the field. So obviously, Coach Chris Tablet or whatever his freaking name, whatever the special teams coach name is, he needs to get that stuff fixed. Personally, if you ask me, he's on my he's on my list of guys that might need to go, because Tabor has not been a good special teams coach for the Bears, if you ask me. And I know it's the players not executing the plays, but he hasn't helped at all. So yeah. Now let's get over to the offense. The offense, I'm gonna give them. It's hard to give them a D plus, but the fact that they scored 2 touchdowns today, I'm gonna give them a C minus. The offense was not the best offense, far from the best. It's personally the same exact crap I've been seeing. Like I said, for the last how many weeks? 12, 13 weeks. The same exact offense. The same exact BS I've been seeing since week 1, and yet some things have still failed to change. Offensive line not blocking, receivers not creating separation, getting opening to help out the quarterback. The running game not working, and then your quarterback just not helping you out altogether. It's what can I say from the offense? I can't critique the offense more than enough. I've already critiqued them so much. I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over and over again. So I'm just gonna get through the things and talk about the things that I liked on offense and some of the things I didn't like on offense. One of the things I liked on offense, Allen Robinson, yet again, proves to be the best player on our team. I personally think he should be the only Bears selected to the Pro Bowl because he's been the only Bears that stepped up to do anything for this team. And yes, you can say, but shouldn't Khalil Mack and shouldn't some of these other players deserve to get selected to the Pro Bowl? No, Allen Robinson is the only Bears I've seen on this team that deserves to go to the Pro Bowl, hands down, 100%. All the other players, even Khalil Mack, doesn't deserve to make the team, Pro Bowl team. But Allen Robinson, he had 6 receptions for 131 yards and 1 touchdown. There was one play he caught where it went to a huge gain, but then there was a hands to the face penalty, which was kind of ticky-tack in my opinion. But still, regardless of the fact, the only issue I had on Allen Robinson when he made that catch was he had Anthony Miller blocking downfield for him, but instead of going to his left to just score an easy touchdown, he runs to his right into the blocker, and he gets tackled. And I'm here with my friend, chilling, watching the game, and I'm like, what are you doing? Run to your left, and you get the easy touchdown. Now, that would have been called back, of course, due to the penalty, but that's an easy walk-in touchdown. That's my only critique of Allen Robinson I had of this game. Other than that, he played really well. That was the only other thing. Rushing, rushing, I feel like we didn't do a good job. Tyreek Cohen went on rush attempts. He only had 6 carries for 25 yards. Let me check Montgomery, actually, because I don't think he had enough himself. Yeah, Montgomery, he had 13 carries for 22 yards. So basically, they combined for 47 yards rushing. Goes to show the offensive line needs to block. There were sometimes the offensive line just did not block whatsoever. There was terrible blocks. There was a terrible block by Charles Leno, who I've criticized this entire season too. He's been awful ever since he got his extension. Bobby Massey has been terrible. He got hurt, and I feel like when he got hurt, the offensive line played better. Um, you know, the offensive line problem. They really need to fix the offensive line problem going into next offseason because, last season they had not the best blocking, but their blocking was like literally on a B minus level. It was decent blocking, where you weren't pulling out your hair like saying, man, the offensive line is terrible. Maybe it goes to show once you get paid, these players don't really care. Well, for Charles Leno, that's what it feels like. And I know some people have never been high on Charles Leno and never liked him. But Jesus, last year was probably his best season of his entire career. Now he's having probably arguably one of the worst seasons of his career because he looks like he can't block anybody. Anthony Miller, he received the ball he had 6 receptions for 77 yards. Anthony Miller was really, really freaking good today. And more I see more production of Anthony Miller, I like. More of them throwing up gang signs or whatever he was doing last week against the Rams. I don't like that Anthony Miller. My only concern with Anthony Miller is he has an attitude problem. Other than that, he balls out when he gets the chance to ball out, and that's good on him. Now let's get to our quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky. Well, actually, let me start this thing first. I know the day before the game or 2 days before the game, the one on one of the Bears social media page, they had a Madden simulator, and they do it every week before the Bears play their game. They had a Madden simulator go off saying that Mitchell Trubisky would throw like legit 453 yards passing. I saw that stat line and I was like, yeah, in your dreams. Only on Madden you can make Mitchell Trubisky throw 400 yards, and that's if you put it on rookie difficulty or if you're just really good at Madden. But, let's get to the thing. Mitchell Trubisky, he had 25 completions and 41 attempts. I still think that's a little bit too much throwing for Mitchell Trubisky, but I digress. We only had like 19 carries between both running backs, so that kind of doesn't even out. I would like to see more rush attempts, please. He threw for 278 yards. 278 yards. So guess what? He almost got to 300 yards passing, which goes to show. And the crazy thing is, they showed on the broadcast. He's like one of the he doesn't lead. He's the lowest quarterback in averaging of passing yards, and it was like 173. And I'm like, yeah, your quarterback sucks if you can't even eclipse over 200 yards passing a game. He had 1 touchdown, that was to Allen Robinson, and then he had 2 picks. Now, well, actually, I can't say now. Both of the picks were pretty badly thrown balls. Well, the first pick was underthrown, and he had Anthony Miller in the end zone, really wide open, but the ball was underthrown, which got a pick for that in the end zone, which was a red zone attempt. Regardless of the fact that, it was a red zone attempt, it cost us points on the board. So after he threw the pick, I know I remember the fans were booing after that. And then the second pick was just some straight up BS. I don't know what the hell he was seeing. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. The pocket was collapsing on him, and he just threw it up there, and then it got picked. There was nobody in the area, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? At this point, just take the sack. There's some, now, I know it's a sack, but there's some cases where it goes like this. If there's nothing open, take the sack. But if there is something open, don't take the sack and throw it to the open receiver. But if you're going to tell me just throw it up for grabs where there's nobody in there and just have somebody pick it off, no, don't do that. Take the sack. And they showed on the replay broadcast that there was nobody freaking open, So even the commentators like, well, that's probably the kind of situation where, you just take the sack on that one. Because if you had taken the sack, it's 4th down, yes. But you punt the ball and you possibly pinned the Giants deep. And I think that was the drive where they did score the touchdown where they got them, 14 points. It's just stuff like that that irritates me with Trubisky. That's the things you don't like to see from Trubisky. And I don't care. His time is already done. There's no way he can sell. I don't care how well he plays. The only way he can possibly, and my opinion, this may not be for your opinion, but I think his time in Chicago is done. He's not going to be on this roster. The only way he can salvage his season and possibly be a starter going to next year is if he has like, games out of his, you know, out of his butt good. And, um, next week he plays the Detroit, well, this Thursday on my birthday, he plays the Detroit Lions. After that, he plays the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night football. And then after that is the Packers. Then after that is the Chiefs, I believe. And then after that, the close of the season is the Minnesota Vikings. So if you can have great games against those guys and throw almost nearly 300 yards passing, okay, maybe you can stay. I want him gone personally, but I digress. Mitchell Trubisky played, I would say, decent. There was some throws where you're like, what the hell is he doing? Like on the first drive, he throws it, he tries to force it to Allen Robinson when Ben Braunecker was basically wide open in the flats. And he was just sitting there in the middle of the field. And I'm like, he's right there, 5 yards away from you, and you cannot see him. Goes to show where you're not going through your progressions. Now, yes. The reason why I say Trubisky, played decent is there were some cases where he looked good in the game. He made some good passes, and some players just didn't bail him out. One of the plays, probably one of the biggest infamy plays that would have been an easy walk-in touchdown, and that was, Ben Brownecker's dropped pass. Ben Braunecker was wide the hell open. He could have just caught it and walked into the end zone, basically. He would have to have broken a tackle, but he would have walked into the end zone if he had caught it. He just dropped it. You can't fault Trubisky on that. It's the same thing like it was in the Rams game. Receivers dropping passes. I do like the fact that they're trying to get the tight ends more implemented into the offense, personally. Stuff like that. And then going again, offensive line not blocking for Trubisky. You can't blame Trubisky on that case, stuff like that. And then, running the ball, I guess the offensive line not blocking goes to not helping Trubisky and the run game, because on that last drive when we needed to get the first down, we can even convert on a 3rd down and 1. But you're telling me the Giants can convert on a 4th down and 18 for a touchdown when the game is literally on the line for them at that point in time, and they complete a 4th and 18-yard pass for a touchdown, but we can't convert on a 3rd and 1. Please, goes to show that the freaking Giants are blocking their butts off and we aren't. Well, at least this time, Matt Nagy decided to call just a regular 1 on 1st down and 1 instead of a stupid option play. And then also Trubisky, he came up limping after he got hit at the hip, and after that, he looked fine. And he looked healthy as can be. Which goes to my point I've been saying. I don't care what anybody says. He was not hurt. Because if you're telling me he was hurt, he was limping, and he was hurt, the Bears would have taken him out of the game when he was walking around with a limp. They would have taken him out. Of course they would have taken him out. But guess what? He came back in. And for some reason, he magically could throw on the run and stuff like that with his hip. And I'm like, yeah, you really are hurt, huh, Mitch? I highly doubt it. I don't care what anybody says. He was not hurt in that Rams game. I don't know where you can find where he was hurt. He didn't look hurt. It looked like Matt Nagy wanted to bench him, but Ryan Pace, wherever he's at in the dungeons or the bowels of Hallis Hall, hiding, because he's too scared to show his face after the mistake he made. He probably told Nagy, you better start Trubisky. You ain't putting my draft pick aside like that. And stuff like that. And then also, we saw a Mitch Trubisky Lamar Jackson sighting. In other words, what I mean is he did something that Lamar Jackson has done this year, and that's on the goal line, run the ball himself. He took the snap and just did a designated run, which, Bears fans have been clamoring for him to start doing more. We've been saying, well, if that's not if him not passing back is not working, why not just do the Lamar Jackson treatment? He's a pretty tough guy. He takes hits to an extent, but, he'll make him get down and dirty. Make him, run off, do the offense Lamar Jackson does. And when it was 3rd down and 1, they did a designated run. He ran right over a Giants player. Bulldozed him personally, if you ask me. He bulldozed him. I was actually I was actually lucky. We were actually lucky because when after he scored that touchdown, he threw the ball up in the air. I'm like, oh, that's gonna be called for a freaking penalty. Luckily, we didn't get called for a flag. We did not get called for a flag. Um, so yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's what we need to do when we're in the goal line when we have no option left. Do that designated run because that caught the Giants completely off guard because they never would have thought Trubisky would have did that. And yeah, so that was a good thing. Now let me talk about that extra point thing before I close this video out. Um, I think the refs were completely BSing the thing. They got no. What I mean by that is they called a flag on Allen Robinson, I guess for picking. And yes, he did pick play for I believe it was Anthony Miller for the 2-point conversion. But at the same time, when you look at the replay, how can you call a flag on that? The defender who is getting picked played is literally 10 to almost 15 yards away from the ball where it's being thrown, and he's not even close. So please tell me, how is he going to make that play? First things first. Please referees, I would like you to explain how the how the actual hell would that DB even get close to catching the ball Mitch threw to Anthony Miller? He was nowhere near the play. And if you're gonna see, my advocate for this is this: if you run a pick play, you shouldn't run. It shouldn't be called if the guy is like literally 10 yards away from him, 10 yards away from the defender that's getting picked, and has no implication on making a play on the ball. If it really affects the ball, if it really affects how the defender can get to the person catching the ball, okay, yes, you can call a flag on that. But for what happened on that, no, I thought that was ticky tack. It's like NBA fouls, they're ticky tack calls. Whatever, regardless, it can go either way and stuff like that. Personally, I think you can review stuff like that. Oh, well, look at that. The Patriots missed another field goal. Okay. Wow. So, yeah. But other than that, play calling wise, it was, I would say okay. Okay. Um, I'd give that a C minus too. Well, play calling and stuff like that. Play calling offense gets C minus. You know, they kind of nonchalant. They kind of only did work near the tail end of the tail end of the second quarter, and then or in the before the 2-minute warning of the second quarter, and then the third quarter. And then the third quarter, that's when they did their damage, kind of finished the Giants off. Then after that, they kind of went dead in the fourth quarter, which again, this team plays by quarters. As always, and it always starts within the 2 minutes of the second quarter, and then they carried it on into the third quarter. And then after that, they can't do nothing else. So again, for technically 3.5 quarters, they literally play no offense. It's the same boring, stagnant crap we've been seeing since week 1. Please, spare me the hope. I know I made a freaking tweet gif saying, with the Joker saying, here we go again. But it's whatever. But at the end of the day, I can critique this win however we got it. Not the most prettiest win, not the win that I wanted, which should have been a blowout. But regardless, a win's a win. I'll take it. It's like my Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. It's a win of win. I'll take it, despite how ugly, how bad it is. I'll take a win. It's better than nothing. At this point, the Bears need to salvage wins more than keep losing. Because if they can salvage more wins, guess what? If they win out, they can go 10-6. I highly doubt they're gonna win out, but if they win out, they can finish 10-6. Yes, the record looks good, but the play, the play on the field doesn't look that great. Like I said, obviously there's gonna be huge changes that need to be made, but that's gonna have to wait till, end of the season. But other than that, the Bears are good to go. So yeah, this week we play the Detroit Lions in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day, aka my birthday, and I will be presenting you guys a recap on my birthday, and I guess I'll do a special edition. I'm not. I said I'd do a special edition, but it's regardless. It's on my birthday. That's all that matters, as well as Thanksgiving Day. I would like the Bears to get a win on my birthday, please. And also, I know I did not make a preview for this game. I did make a preview for this game. I just was lazy to upload. But this recap is definitely getting uploaded to YouTube. So yeah. Now as for the preview, I will probably make the game preview Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving Day / my birthday. So yeah. So other than that, that'll be the unless you check out any of my other videos. I think I will probably be doing another video with my friend the Red Wolf / Denzel. Um, Probably get uploaded on Tuesday. So or sometime, Thanksgiving week. But other than that, it's good to see. It's good to see. So other than that, I'm gonna get out of here because it's a Bears win, and I like to see a Clippers win too. Now, I haven't been making Clippers content, but man, if I was, I'd be getting hyped. Other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. This is McCamphrey 15. If you leave the like, if you want to leave a like, leave a like. If you want there's a comment you want to put regarding the Chicago Bears, go right ahead. And if you want to hit that subscribe button, because I found some interesting news. I guess I'm keeping the channel for now. You know, because of the whole COPA, FTC stuff that's going on with YouTube. I more than likely will be keeping this channel because they kind of made the rules more, not as vague as I thought they would be. So other than that, I should be good to go with, anime movie reviews and stuff like that. So other than that, till then, I'm gonna get out of here. So see you guys later, and I'll see you guys probably Tuesday. That might be the next video, if not Wednesday. So till then, guys, hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a great day. Bear down. It was good to see it. Finally. Don't expect to hear that from me anytime soon, because this team doesn't deserve it anymore. But I'll say it for one time since they got a win. So bear down, guys. See you guys in the next video.